Imagine this. Your 12-year-old child is playing outside, enjoying life as he or she should at this age. At the age of 12, you're not always with your parents outside. I remember running marathons just to get to my friend's house just to shoot hoops. God forbid, imagine your child trips into a ravine or a ditch and breaks his leg. If they are by themselves, they are left supportless, no options for help, no relief in sight. Being a brand new father to a newborn who is less than 2 weeks old, I can personally envision the terror and get overwhelmed by the fear of not being there or being able to help. I wouldn't even know what is currently happening. One simple handheld product could turn this disaster into a quick recovery. You know it, that product is the cell phone. Now I know in this day and age people have very mixed feelings about cell phones due to conspiracy theories, paranoia, or aren't just comfortable using one. Cell phones are just like a lot of other products. They can be extremely beneficial when used correctly, or they can be harmful when they're used recklessly. Allowing your child to have a cell phone at the age of 12 gives him or her the opportunity for the growth that you can't teach in a classroom. I strongly believe providing a child at the age of 12 with a cell phone could solve plenty of problems. Giving your 12-year-old a cell phone allows them to learn responsibility, reliability, and practice communicating with their parents while they're out playing sports with their friends. For a parent's peace of mind, it allows the parents to download a GPS tracking app on their phone so they can always be monitored by location, and most importantly, it allows the child to call 911 in case of emergency, may they be involved in one. First, let's talk about the benefits of open communication with the child, which in turn will teach responsibility and reliability. Allowing your child the freedom to call his parents at any moment is a huge responsibility. By teaching the child how to take care of their phone, use their phone, and when to use their phone, it helps them to learn responsibility. The magic of this benefit, too, is that before the child receives the phone, the parents can restrict what they want and make any modifications to use as they feel needed. That means the child may have a phone, but they won't have access to call random numbers or use the internet inappropriately, so they can become adjusted to only using it when they need to, which also helps build traits like responsibility and reliability. Parents also having an open pipeline of communication means that they can be contacted on demand. According to Dr. Vincent Iannoli in his article, Should Kids and Tweens Have Cell Phones?, he boldly says, when your child has a cell phone, you can easily get in touch with them in case of an emergency. This sense of security and safety is probably the only reason that parents should even consider getting a younger child a cell phone. In the case of a real tragedy like a school shooting, a cell phone can be the only lifeline to your kids. This is a parent's worst nightmare, and as a new parent, I would take any preventative measure to avoid my child being in an emergency with no way to contact help. Speaking of security measures, another huge benefit of your child having a cell phone is the beauty of GPS tracking. One of the biggest problems with young children is that they are becoming extremely active and may have friends that they play with outside of a guardian's supervision. As a parent, I know it must already be daunting knowing your child is out playing, but you physically can't even be there to see him and see if he's okay. Let alone the factors of being a typical child, like lying about where they're going or getting themselves in unsafe situations. So many problems can be easily solved with the beauty of how far technology has advanced. The solution is GPS tracking. There are apps that allow parents to GPS track their kids' cell phones' location in real time. The availability of parents having the power to GPS track their child's location from the cell phone is remarkable. According to the website nectivist.org, it states a study by Child Guide magazine found that 31% of parents bought cell phones for their kids for security reasons, in case children needed to contact parents. Phones have served the police to locate children that were lost in the forest or mountains. GPS tracking is a blessing for parents, but as well as law enforcement services. Creating a peace of mind for the guardian should always be important when talking about young kids having cell phones. Lastly, but most importantly, giving your 12-year-old a child allows them to call emergency services if they ever needed to. I say most importantly because at the end of the day, this is one of the most profound reasons and ways to ensure your child's safety when parents are not around. Giving your child the opportunity to call 911 in case of emergency could be vital in a life or death situation. Parents or guardians aren't always around, especially with active 12-year-olds. God forbid they hurt themselves while they are alone, or, in drastic scenarios, someone tries to kidnap them. With them having a cell phone, they can call for help, whether it be 911 or parents or siblings, in case they hurt themselves and can't walk. According to Alia Beck, in her article, 11 Reasons Why Kids Should Have Cell Phones, she informatively says, plus, phones have some extra safety features built in as well. With an iPhone, there's a setting that lets you trigger an emergency alarm. So if your child is ever in a situation where they need to draw attention to themselves, then this helps keep them safe. These kinds of safety and emergency precautions are what convinces me that by giving my 12-year-old a cell phone, I am ensuring as much of a safety net as I can. Today we have learned that a 12-year-old child should have access to a cell phone because it proves to be very beneficial and eliminates multiple problems. It is very beneficial because the child can communicate to their parents whenever they aren't around, which can teach responsibility. Parents can GPS track the child to eliminate never not knowing their whereabouts, and to use in case they get an emergency while alone. Just like the young child I asked you to imagine in the beginning, this world too is very unpredictable, and the people in it can be just as scary. From the voice of a two-week-old father, I would rather take all precautions and know that my child is safe at all times by utilizing a cell phone. Thank you.